During the 2020-21 season, the Detroit Red Wings thought they found their next elite sniper, and for a moment, it felt like things could start to go up for the Detroit Red Wings rebuild. Because you see, when Steve Yzerman pulled the trigger very late on NHL trade deadline day on April 12, 2021, the hockey world took notice, as the Red Wings GM sent longtime Red Wing Anthony Mantha to the Washington Capitals in exchange for Jakub Vrana, Richard Panik, a 2021 first-round pick, and a second-round pick. Detroit Red Wing fans didn't know what to think. Anthony Mantha had been having a roller coaster of a career with the Red Wings, as he showed flashes of brilliance in one game, followed by frustrating slumps in the next. But with Vrana, he was younger, faster, and only 2 years removed for a 24-goal season. Oh, and a Stanley Cup. In the 11 remaining games to close out the 2020-21 season, Jakub Vrana scored 8 goals and added 3 assists, including a jaw-dropping 4-goal night against the Dallas Stars, becoming the first Red Wing to do that since Anthony Mantha, which is kind of ironic. Jakub Vrana was everything Detroit had been missing: elite finishing, blazing speed, and that silky, confident shot. And all of a sudden, the whispers turned into buzz. Did Steve Yzerman actually fleece the Washington Capitals in this trade? That summer, the Detroit Red Wings doubled down, signing Jakub Vrana to a 3-year deal worth $5.25 million per year, hopeful that the next 3 years he would dominate alongside Red Wings top players Dylan Larkin and Tyler Bertuzzi on Detroit's top line. It was the perfect line. Bertuzzi had the grit and ability to create space, while Larkin had the speed and playmaking, and Vrana had the elite shot. The hype for Jakub Vrana was real, with everyone talking about him being the boost that the Detroit Red Wings rebuild desperately needed. His potential was sky high. But before Red Wing fans could even see that happen, during training camp, Jakub Vrana would unfortunately go down with a shoulder injury, which would require surgery, and Vrana missing over 75% of the season. And unfortunately, just like that, all that momentum was gone. But when Jakub Vrana came back from his shoulder injury, he was ready to be the player he once was when the Red Wings acquired him, recording 13 goals in 26 games, which was a 41-goal pace over an 82-game season. And even with limited ice time, he led the entire team in goals per 60 minutes. And Jakub Vrana in his 13th game will require the fewest games in franchise history to reach the 10-goal mark, besting previous record held by former Detroit Red Wings Steve Yzerman and Bill Lockhead, who took 15 games to reach the 10-goal mark. Jakub Vrana was becoming the real deal. But while the stats told one story, something deeper was unfolding behind the scenes. Just 2 games into the 2022-23 season, the Detroit Red Wings announced that forward Jakub Vrana was entering the NHL Player Assistance Program. The details were kept private, as they should be, but it was clear that Jakub Vrana was fighting a battle much bigger than hockey. When Vrana finally returned months later, the Detroit Red Wings would waive Jakub Vrana, with Vrana clearing waivers on January 4, 2023. This move was made clear to create roster space for forward Robbie Fabry's return from an injury. With Vrana on a conditioning loan with the Grand Rapids Griffins of the AHL, after clearing waivers, he was assigned back to the Grand Rapids Griffins, before playing just a few more games in Detroit. But it wasn't the same, and on March 3, 2023, the Jakub Vrana era in Detroit quietly ended, as Steve Yzerman traded him to the St. Louis Blues for Dylan McLaughlin and a 2025 7th-round pick. It was a heartbreaking finale to once felt like a beginning of something special. Red Wing fans were stunned, not just because Jakub Vrana was gone, but because what he represented. A star power that seemed missing for years. That elite sniper Detroit had been missing since Marian Hossa and maybe even Brett Hull. And he even had flashes of hands like Pavel Datsyuk. And in just 39 games as a Detroit Red Wing, Jakub Vrana scored 22 goals, which was a 46-goal pace over an 82-game season. But it wasn't just the numbers for Jakub Vrana, it was how he was scoring. Top corner lasers, elite breakaways, one-timers. He made it look so easy. But unfortunately, sometimes hockey isn't just stats and highlights, it's human life outside of the NHL, and behind every goal is a story. Jakub Vrana's time in Detroit will always be a what if. What if he stayed healthy? What if he had a full season alongside players like Larkin and Lucas Raymond? And what if he got the support he needed sooner? Now in today's world, Jakub Vrana's journey continues elsewhere, playing last year with the Nashville Predators. But for Detroit Red Wing fans, those flashes of brilliance will never fade. That 4-goal night, that sniper's release, and that electric feeling that just maybe we found that guy. In the end, it's not all bad though, as the Mantha and Vrana trade turned into Detroit getting Sebastian Cossa with the 2021 first-round pick, as they traded with the Dallas Stars for the 15th overall pick, and they also got Dmitry Bachelnikov with the second-round pick at 52nd overall, and Dmitry Bachelnikov, if he comes over, is looking like a very promising prospect. But that will do it for this video on Jakub Vrana. If you want to see other videos kind of like this one, make sure you hit that subscribe button and comment down below what you want to see in future videos. I hope everybody has a great one, and as always, let's go Red Wings.